From what I can see, he's got some breathing on his own, so he's not dead.
I have no experience in emergency room care or acute situations. None.
You have a problem? I hear nothing.
The intern is like the lowest level apprentice.
They're just going to see an awful lot of patients.
Let me go see if my patient died or not.
This is the Big Easy, where it's easy to shoot people.
Every one of us is dreading Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras!
Mayhem, don't come.
And the key is to remain calm.
She can't breathe.
You can scream, you can breathe.
You know, you just can't practice medicine defensively. You're going to get sued.
Careful.
You're going to kill people.
Hey, I'm not liking this too much.
He's aspirating.
Are you trying to feel some insanity?
This is not on camera. No comment.
On Eyewitness. For several weeks now, we've been following 4 interns.
All the February interns, we're going to be meeting in the ortho room right down there.
Heidi, Will, Morella, and Clay, through their first ever experience as doctors in a big city emergency room.
CPR is in progress.
They've just graduated from medical school, and already they're on the front lines of trauma medicine.
One really bad movement of his head, he could, end up paralyzed.
Now, just as they've begun to find their footing, the accident room has been consumed by a whole new onslaught. Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras!
The time the interns have waited for and dreaded is finally here, the big night of Mardi Gras. Looking around, you can tell the celebration has completely taken over the city.
We are in the middle of Bourbon Street, and this is a madhouse. It's chaotic. See all these crazy people out here with beads around their necks. They're drunk, and they're out of control.
This is the New Orleans that I pictured. A lot of booze, a lot of partying.
A little higher, a little higher, a little higher.
I am standing gripping this building because you really can barely walk by down the streets. You have this combination of half the city of New Orleans stuffed in this 8-block radius in the corner. You throw in alcohol to the mix, and a lot of adrenaline and beads and apparently some weapons, and you've got an accident waiting to happen.
No sooner had Mardi Gras hit the streets, it slammed into the accident room.
Maybe you were in the French Quarter before you came here. Right now you're in the Charity Hospital. Are we keeping all the stab victims up at the front?
Well, we're trying to until we can find a place to put them.
There are so many patients that just came in, you can barely walk down the hallway. There's more patients than square footage here.
There's no room. We're in the hall. You can't see everybody no more.
What happened to you tonight? Did you fall? Were you out enjoying Mardi Gras when this happened?
No, I think Mardi Gras was enjoying me.
What a night.
The staff here say that during Mardi Gras, admissions to the hospital can skyrocket by 400%.
The gentleman standing up in the hallway, he's also one of them as well. He was in the accident.
The added burden of Mardi Gras could really test Clay's skills. He's the one intern specializing in emergency medicine, but he's also had a lot of trouble this month keeping up with the pace of the accident room.
Being slow and meticulous can definitely be a handicap. You've got a lot of things happening at once. You really got to be able to keep your hands on important problems and the imminently dangerous problems, and that's something I definitely feel I have to address and try and unclog this logjam of patients.
You got a stethoscope?
I want you to hold the brew. Hold that 40. Just like that. Like that big giant 40. I'm talking about 40 ounce.
Will seems to be the most blasé of all the interns about Mardi Gras.
Because these people drink and drive. It's going to help teach me things I need to know for practice.
George!
Calm down. Stop that.
Stay still.
Dude, what happened to you, man?
I don't know, I was hit with something. I don't touch it. I'm claustrophobic. Don't touch it. It hurts. Don't touch it.
All right, stick him in the hallway.
Give him let it go.
What back? Go down!
Sir, do you want to be paralyzed for the rest of your life?
No, but I can't.
East Hall alert! We have 2 of Ativan on the East Hall
One of Will's first patients of the night was really drunk and unruly, and I think Will was a little taken aback at the prospect of dealing with him.
Let me God beat that motherfucker's nigga's ass. I can't take this. Okay. Do you know what it's like to be claustrophobic? Let me go, please. Let my neck go.
She started yelling about, get this, I'm going to go back and kill the nigger who did this to me, so I think Will's very sympathetic about this patient right now. Will, you look less than thrilled.
The shift has just begun, but it already looks like it's going to be a long night.
We have a room for 4 minutes, 3 minutes.
Will gets a crash course in the politics of emergency medicine.
We're going to get a whole rash of people that are really hurt, and then we're going to be up the creek.
And Clay's speed and ability are tested.
Heart rate is dropping.
Who's got this channel?
I have him.
Somebody hit him on the
With a
side of the
camera.
head with a camera.
They said nigga did it.
No, that's what he said. Yeah. That's a smart move. Oh, he's really gonna stack the balls.
The more you cooperate, no, just let him do his job. Please, sir. What's your name? Zach. I really want to help you. I'm saying you keep on moving your neck. That's bad.
Will needed to make sure that this patient didn't move before he could clear his neck. This meant he had to take x-rays to make sure he didn't have a serious spinal injury.
But you cannot move your neck until we get these filmed, okay? You promise me that?
But how long is it going to
It's going to take may take a while. As soon as we get your car, we can stamp up just hold on, Zach. Let me see. Now, Zach, you broke your promise, Zach.
No,
you broke your promise.
but I can't take how long is my neck down, please.
You know something? I don't even think that guy should be in here. The guy that's screaming right now.
Yeah.
He basically cleared his fucking neck already. All this thrashing around. He cleared his neck as far as I'm concerned.
10:15.
Mardi Gras is reaching a fever pitch out here.
Oh, yeah!
Now that we've been shooting in the hospital, we're sort of getting a different take on the whole Mardi Gras experience. Being there, you really start to see everyone as a potential accident room victim. And that risk increases exponentially during Mardi Gras.
As the night wore on, the patients continued to swamp the accident room.
We have a room for 4 minutes, 3 minutes.
How many room 4 so far, Mike? That's 10 of them.
Stop and drop.
It wasn't just the sheer number of patients that was difficult for the doctors to handle, but the fact that so many of them were drunk and belligerent.
Where's security?
This meant the interns not only had to juggle a large number of cases, but they also had to serve as caregiver, babysitter, and even jailer all in one. It seems like the biggest challenges for the interns tonight aren't necessarily medical, but emotional.
You can't choose your patients, but you still have to help them.
Room 4, 3 minutes. We got room 4?
Yeah, room 4 coming.
In the midst of Clay handling his workload, a very serious case came in.
Room 4.
A patient with a gunshot wound to the head. Now, on top of everything else, Clay has to deal with this very critical patient.
Heart rate is dropping.
Do we have all the blood that we need?
Yeah.
Out of hand now. I think I know step off. We're going to go ahead and analyze him within 10 seconds. His injury is to his head.
I said he was 80 KO. I could tell that Clay was very nervous.
Just hold him for right now.
What was Hemachek? I mean,
A 2 for verbal.
Hemacolt.
The lower body is clear.
Doctors were able to stabilize the patient. But Clay's responsibilities weren't over.
Clayton, I want you to call CAT scan for me. Tell him that we got a room for us, we need a head CT scan.
Even though he had other cases to return to, upper-level residents gave him the additional responsibility of taking the patient up to CAT scan.
They don't cut you the slack that they're willing to cut someone that this isn't their chosen field. I chose this. I asked to work in this field and to train in this hospital, so that they're going to say, you asked for it, you're going to get it.
Zach, let's look at it. You're going to have call somebody to come pick you up, okay? Zach, what's your girlfriend's number? I got some news number. What do you got right now? I got about 6. Belly hurt at all? No. And your joints hurt, elbows, or shoulders, wrists, knees. I got so many cases going on. You're pulled in 1,000 different directions. This place can't close, kid.
I've been here almost 6 years. We closed for trauma once, and that's because the recovery room was full. We can't close. We're a level 1 trauma center.
Well, then, I'm saying, what are you guys going to do? I'm saying...
It seemed like the madness of the accident room was starting to get to Will.
Everybody's pushing. Nurses are pushing. Everybody pushes. And, sometimes you get sick of getting pushed around.
At first I thought that Will was just frustrated by his incredible workload. But it turns out that he was frustrated more with how all these patients were being handled by the staff.
What's going to happen is we're going to line up all these people, fill up all our trauma days with people, that we want to scan and do interventions for that that have a very high likelihood of not needing anything. And then we're going to get a whole rash of people that really hurt, and then we're going to be up the creek.
As the accident room fills to capacity, the stress is taking its toll on everyone.
I'm getting ready to. It doesn't have any problem. I'm getting ready to.
And Heidi is finding her compassion tested to the limit.
Do you believe that she hadn't had anything to drink? No. She looks intoxicated to me.
Wiggle your toes, Sammy. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your toes.
I can't move my toe, I tried.
Heidi got a case that could only have happened during Mardi Gras.
What float ran over you?
A truck float. A truck float's one of those big flatbeds? Yeah, with them big tires.
We need to get a couple x-rays, okay?
I hope so. Tell somebody else's story, but my feet might be broke.
All right. The float rolled over her foot. I'm sure it really hurts, and her x-rays are a little funny. I'm going to go get them interpreted. But there's a lot of what I would call histrionic behavior. It's very dramatic.
Did you drink anything tonight? I had a cold drink at the parade.
All right, what kind of cold drink?
Strawberry.
Alcohol?
Strawberry cold drink.
Was there any
alcohol?
All right. Do you believe that she hadn't had anything to drink? No. She looks intoxicated to me. I mean, I empathize that she probably does have foot pain, but I don't have a lot of compassion for her. I have more compassion for other patients.
I was pretty surprised at Heidi's reaction. This was the first time I'd seen her distrust a patient so readily.
Wiggle your toes. I know you can do it. I saw you do it earlier. I just want to see.
I can't.
She's not being very cooperative with my exam, and I don't have patience for that right now. Under diagnosis and information on this form, I mean, usually it's like status post MVA, neck pain. All right, float rolled over foot.
It's about 15 minutes till Mardi Gras is over, and the police are about to sweep through the quarter and literally get everyone off the streets.
We will parade down Bourbon Street, announcing that Mardi Gras has now ended, and tell the folks to basically it's time to go home.
Them making us leave the streets. It's communism.
We've heard that after this happens, a lot of these people end up in the accident room, so this could be a long night.
The parades are over. The alcohol has taken complete control, as evidenced by what's in the hallway over there.
Yes. I'll do her. Okay? I'm getting ready to. He doesn't have any bottles. I'm getting ready to.
There's a different mood in the accident room tonight. As patients are starting to back up and clog the hallway, everyone's starting to get on edge.
You gonna call your sister. We're gonna give you some crutches and you're gonna be rolling.
Will especially. He feels like this backlog of patients doesn't have to happen. He thinks the upper-level residents are being overly cautious and spending too much time and resources on patients who probably aren't very seriously injured.
You know what I'm saying? They're trying to cover their ass on every little tiny thing. And what's going to happen is, I'm saying, we're going to get a rash of really sick people that, and then they're going to be hosed because we're trying to cover up. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. That's just my own opinion.
As the night wore on, it seemed like Will had more and more trouble containing his frustration.
Some makeshift monitor?
I have no.
I'll call him in a few minutes. Hold on.
Where are you taking that to?
In this room. Talk to Doctor, whatever her name
We have
is.
extras.
Okay, then.
No, take that and I'll replace it is what I meant to say.
Just tell me where they are.
Whatever.
If you tell me where the extra ones are, I'll take it.
I was telling you, you can
Okay,
take one.
okay,
I'll
but just tell me
replace
where the extra one is. This is the worst mix of people. Worst attending, worst for
What don't you agree with about the...
I'll tell you later.
Your arm, please. Thank you.
What makes for a good group of people who use their brain.
Like this guy's just a seizure waiting to
Yeah, see, send that kind of stuff over to us.
Finally, another attending physician came and began to clear out a lot of the patients with only minor injuries.
See what I'm saying? See, he knows. See, he knows. He knows what's up. That's why we all back up. You can't be, you just can't practice medicine defensively, right? Like you think you can get sued every time, you make a decision. You can't practice like that. You're gonna get sued. You're gonna kill people. So.
Clay's night is almost over, but the cases just keep coming.
I got the guy with the hand and the ankle.
Where is he? What's happening with him? Where's he going?
Heidi learns more about her new patient and something about herself.
I'm curious to know if this is real or not.
Who are your patients?
I got the guy with the hand and the ankle.
Where is he? What's happening with him? Where's he going?
Since the room 4 started, I don't know.
As soon as Clay got back downstairs from the CAT scan room, he was attacked with all these things he had to do before his shift was over.
They've splintered up his ankle, ortho splintered up that was that calcaneus fracture. He's got fractures, all distal fragments plus the middle segment.
Tonight, I could really start to see why Clay decided to specialize in emergency medicine. It finally seemed like his best work was coming out under all the pressure.
They were deliberately trying to give me more responsibility and trying to make sure I was covering more patients to make sure I can manage that because, one, I'm one of their own, and two, they're going to have to be stuck with me, in the future.
In the end, Clay was the one intern who seemed to feel like he had a successful Mardi Gras night in the accident room.
Me to do anything on that, help you out?
Oh no, I'm set.
You're set? You sure?
I'm set.
Okay.
Absolutely set.
Clayton, good job. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is this the woman who Flo ran over her foot?
Maybe it's an old fracture. I would be very surprised if this were a new fracture, but this clearly is abnormal.
Right.
That's not normal.
Right.
Now, is it old or new? I can't tell you.
I'm curious to know if this is real or not. He saw something on there? I don't know. She thinks it's broken, that's for sure.
Even though it was unclear how seriously injured this woman was, Heidi didn't seem too eager to empathize with her.
Oh, ow. Interesting how she complains of pain only when we're near the room or in the room. When I walk by, she's sitting there drinking her ice water happily. I'm bad, but I just don't believe that her pain's justified. Should I bring it to radiology real quick?
Yeah, bring it to radiology, see what they say.
They're questioning whether that's a fracture there.
It's real. I could be wrong, but I really think it's real.
The radiologist confirmed that the woman's foot was in fact broken. I think Heidi at that moment realized the extent of the detachment that she had built up from her patients this month.
I really have to watch the way that I'm thinking and catch myself, because I've become so jaded, it's disappointing to me. And I think accident room has definitely contributed to that. I think here I devote far less time to patients' like emotional needs, and I'm less sympathetic and less empathetic here. You know, it's been a long internship, it's getting to be a long month, it's trying, it's physically exhausting. I mean, I'm really disappointed that I've become more cynical, more jaded. It's too bad. I'm not happy about it. Hopefully it's an internship thing and you rebound out of it.
With the end of Mardi Gras, the interns have overcome a major obstacle.
We had moments when we did think, I mean, at least me personally, that it's too much to cope with.
It's nothing. I could never even. I had the faintest idea that would be anything like this.
But their training in the accident room isn't over yet. Everyone seems exhausted, and it seems like the biggest challenge now for the interns is to collect themselves for the last few days of their rotation.
I'm worn out. It's getting to be a long month at this point. And I think I'm in for the worst stretch this next week, so my stamina is wearing thin.
Instead of making the remaining time easier, it seems like it's becoming a struggle for the interns to keep up the kind of patient care that they can be proud of.
I'm just feeling it. Usually I come out of the accident room at the end of the shift, adrenalized, but I feel it already. I mean, I don't have to get out of here. I'm shagged out. I'm feeling the whole month now.
I just hope that things just cool off. You know, I just can't deal with another night like we had tonight.
Next time on Eyewitness, the interns have survived Mardi Gras, but their ordeals in the accident room are not over. Far from it.
Well, he was on his way to commit suicide.
Exactly. With a week left to go, everyone is burned out. But their biggest challenges and their harshest lessons are still to come.
No, I don't know what to say.
Will confronts issues he never learned about in medical school.
I just gotta sit out here and get myself together is what I'm exactly gonna do.
Morella comes to grips with the ugliness of emergency room medicine.
You didn't say anything about this.
I didn't say anything about anything.
And Heidi comes face to face with the limits of a doctor's power to heal.
I mean, you can hear agony and desperation in their voice.